Welcome to Flashback Daily. Today, we're doing something a little different. We are flipping through the pages of our historical files to look at one truly extraordinary date, July 16th. Consider this. What if I told you that a single calendar date acted as a historic crossroads where the world fundamentally changed, again and again across centuries? From ancient religious migrations that defined global culture, to the terrifying dawn of the atomic age, and even our very first steps toward the stars, July 16th is just packed with these massive world-changing events. Let's explore how this one specific day shaped the world we live in right now.
First up, we're looking at the foundations of faith and power, spanning from 622 to 1054 AD. It's wild to see how ancient beliefs from this era actively shaped our modern global borders and calendars.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our first major anchor point on this timeline is 622 AD. This marks the Hijrah, which was the momentous migration of the Prophet Muhammad from Mecca to Medina. Now, this wasn't just a physical journey, right? It was the ultimate turning point in Islamic history. In fact, it was so foundational that it established the Islamic calendar, the Hijri calendar, which is still actively used by millions of Muslims worldwide today. When you trace history forward, you literally see how an event from over a millennium ago still actively measures time in our modern world.
Fast forward to 1054 AD, the year of the Great Schism. This is when Christianity officially divided into two distinct branches, the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church. And now what's really interesting about this slide is how it visually balances this monumental split. Because listen, this wasn't just some theological disagreement behind closed doors, it was a profound geographic and political fracture. The political and religious impacts of this exact division in 1054 remain deeply embedded in global geopolitics to this day.
Let's move on and see how this builds into the mid-20th century. We're calling this era the Modern Crucible, from 1944 to 1950, a time of intense global rebuilding and a total redefinition of power.
Picture this, it's July 16, 1944. The world was heavily engulfed in conflict, but leaders were already looking ahead, planning for the aftermath. On this very day, massive economic power shifted with the Bretton Woods Agreement. This agreement literally formed our modern global financial system. It directly paved the way for the creation of the World Bank and established the IMF. So, whenever you hear about global economics or international finance today, you're looking at the direct legacy of the financial architecture anchored on this very day.
And this brilliantly illustrates a much darker, incredibly powerful shift that occurred exactly 1 year later, on July 16, 1945. Out in the desert of New Mexico, the United States successfully detonated the world's first atomic bomb, the Trinity Test. This single flash of light officially initiated the atomic age, and it forever altered the nature of war, politics, and the global balance of power. It's a pretty sobering realization that our current nuclear reality was born on this specific July date.
Okay, by 1950, we see a completely different kind of global explosion, this time rooted in cultural unity and sports. On July 16, 1950, the FIFA World Cup final went down at the famous Maracanazo Stadium in Brazil. The host nation was heavily favored to win, but in a highly surprising, historic upset that would be forever dubbed the Maracanazo, Uruguay shocked the world and beat Brazil. It remains one of the most astonishing results in the history of football.
All right, moving into an era of incredible human achievement, reaching new frontiers, from 1969 to 2004. We're going to contrast the vastness of outer space with the microscopic world of human biology.
July 16, 1969. This is the day humanity daringly decided to leave its earthly cradle. NASA launched the Apollo 11 mission, sending humans hurtling toward the moon. This launch was a supreme scientific triumph. It was the crucial first step that put humans on the lunar surface just days later. It's almost hard to wrap your mind around the fact that our greatest off-world adventure began on this exact date. But then, by July 16, 2004, the focus shifted entirely inward. On this day, major breakthroughs were announced regarding the mapping of the human genetic code. This directly unlocked entirely new paths in modern medicine and genetics, paving the way for discovering treatments for previously incurable diseases. So from the vastness of the moon in '69 to the microscopic building blocks of human life in 2004, July 16th is clearly a day of monumental scientific leaps.
Now, we have to ground the narrative a bit and look at tragedy and resilience in 1990 and 1999. This really reminds us of human vulnerability and the sheer force of nature on this fateful date.
On July 16, 1990, a massive, devastating earthquake struck the Philippines,
tragically claiming thousands of lives and causing just widespread destruction. The sheer scale of this loss had a profound global impact. It quite literally forced the world to deeply rethink modern disaster management strategies and structural engineering in earthquake-prone zones. It's a stark reminder of our constant need to adapt and build resilience.
And tragedy struck again on July 16, 1999, this time capturing the intense grief of the American public. A shocking plane crash claimed the life of John F. Kennedy Jr. Because of his profound connection to American politics and his father's legacy, this sudden loss deeply stunned the nation. It was a major touchstone moment that dominated public attention, marking another very somber anniversary for this eventful day.
So the crucial point is, well, let's look at the summary of today in history and the true legacy of July 16. We really need to review how this single date acted as such a powerful catalyst. When you step back and look at the sheer density of history here, it's staggering. A new Islamic era began, the atomic age sparked into existence, humanity literally reached for the moon, and global finance was securely anchored. Not to mention the lasting, paradigm-shifting impacts in sports, science, and politics. It's been an epic explainer journey across faith, atomic power, space exploration, and finance, all sharing this remarkable July 16 anniversary.
I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought from our sources. History doesn't just tell us the past, but shows the path to understand the future. When we analyze a day like July 16, we aren't just reciting old facts. We are looking at the foundation of our modern financial systems, our nuclear reality, our medical frontiers, and our spiritual landscapes. How might understanding these historic milestones illuminate the path we are walking on right now? Think about that as you go about your day. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.